I loved the movie. It was like so gritty and raw and gory. There was one moment in the film where I actually gagged a little bit, and that's a compliment.
Yes.
Yeah. It was great. What like inspired you to write this story?
Well, I looked into the crystal ball and I said, what will make people gag? And then I was like, no, we'll do just that. I mean, um, gosh, I had I don't, I mean, here, the truth is like a bunch of years ago, my friends and I, who I've been making movies with a long time, were like, man, how can we make a movie that is, or what's the type of story we can tell for the type of, in a manageable way, the film that we can make, that, where we can pay tribute to the things that have influenced and inspired us in time, but also can become a flag that we can plant in the ground and wave proudly as to who we are as filmmakers and what we do, and do it in a way that can become something that grows from here, right? Like start small, start simple, and relatively, and design a franchise around like a character and a world that we just would like to make. And I say that because like I'm a dad. I have two kids. I'm in my mid 40s. Like that's what I have to do. I've made other movies. I made a lot of other things, and I just kind of, you make something and then it, you send it out into the world and it doesn't come home. And like I was like, well, if I want my kids to come back and visit me, right? I want to like so Dolly started as that, and I think like of course we wanted to make things that I would have loved as a kid watching movies. Well, love is a relative term. Like they would have terrified me and grossed me out and made me gag. But those are the things that were memorable and we could do in a thoughtful and motivated and craftful way. I mean, all of the things that are happening in this movie that make you gag and hopefully make other people squirm and like or laugh out loud as a response to it are like they're happening for a reason relative to the narrative and relative to a lot of them are visual metaphors that are representative of what both characters, Macy and Dolly, are going through. So this is like, my job as a filmmaker is to take all these things and go, well, what do I do with this? Well, I'm going to make Dolly, and here we are.
That's awesome. So, like, I read that you delayed like life-saving open heart surgery to make this passion project. What was it about this particular project that fueled you to like work through such a scary health scare?
Oh my gosh, I have to have this open heart surgery. Oh man, I wasn't. This is so true. It's in the press notes. Yeah, it's coming up on October 30th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I needed to have it last year. Um, but I needed to make a movie that I could take care of my family, right? That could support my family. And I put my daughter in the movie. She's the little girl in the beginning of the movie. And I think that like yeah, I mean it's I said like I said this a minute ago. It's like I gotta look out for us and who we and like in my tribe, right? And Dolly is like, that is a statement, right? In so much as it's like, well, how can I make something that can support us and take care of us, and then really delaying the surgery, and, until I could get through post production, and then, through Fantastic Fest and through Sitches, and then, because I don't know, I mean, there's a relationship between the creative, the art and life, and I make things that the two are inseparable, right? For an artist, right, who's making things. And I was like, so I don't I'm stumbling my way through this because it's like a very emotional thing to talk about. But Dolly was just like, how do I bet on myself, right, as a filmmaker?
Mhm.
How do I create something that can I don't know, allow me to fight more days and to literally pay the bills. And that's not the only motivation for making something, but I think that like it's a completely fine motivation. I have no problem saying it at this point. I'm getting older and no sense in beating around the bush on that. Like you got to look after your family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the passion for this project really comes through. Like, you can
Oh,
tell
thank
how
you.
much went into this project. And that's so cool that you got your daughter involved in the project. That's really cool. I was kind of wondering, how the casting came together and how did you get like Max the Impaler involved in this?
Yes, Max is like I don't know the best. Maybe I'm like Max was somebody we found on the internet. My producer Ross had seen a flyer here in Nashville in an event center for the National Wrestling Association, and there was an image of Max the Impaler on it. And besides looking fierce as all hell and like a complete badass, um, we went and watched some clips of them performing, and they were able to do so much without saying much at all, right? Max the Impaler is a silent character as a wrestler. Not all wrestlers don't speak, but that's that character's identity. And so I tracked them down. I sent a million social media messages, and eventually Max replied and very kindly said, "Yeah, let's come have lunch and tell me about this weirdness you want to make." And Max revealed to me at this lunch we had on a Sunday in Louisville, Kentucky. I drove up; it was halfway between where we lived, and Max said, "My lifelong dream has been to be a villain in a horror movie." Um, and so it was kismet, right? You just kind of know at that point, oh well, they want to be here as much as I want them to be here. And then Max every day tells me right now, please, going forward, can you please put some cooling systems into Dolly's costume because it was so hot out there in the Tennessee woods. Max would walk around set with a a giant jug of water because we were outside, and Max has got this silicone cowl and mask on, and Max would walk around with this giant jug of water that somebody on our crew wrote Max the Hydrator on the front of, because Max was having to put down gallons of water every day just to like keep going fully clothed out in the woods, in the hot, sweaty Tennessee woods. And all the other cast members are just friends, people I've known a long time. You just want to at least I want to make movies with people I love and who love me and lift me up and make me excited and inspired every day. So that's the cast of this movie.
That's awesome. And he was such a great villain. The villain was so terrifying yet sympathetic at the same time. So it really played with your emotions as like the viewer.
I There's a reason for all this. Like,
Mhm.
they yeah, I'm so glad that comes through. Thank you.
I mean, there's a lot of really awesome gory moments in this film. I loved it so much. What was like the best like practical effect that y'all filmed? Like what was your favorite?
Oh my gosh. So I need to like tip my hat to Ashley Thomas from Yellow Moth for designing, she and her partner Al, like they are practical effects wizards. Like you know, um, we did so many things practically, and I really think that like and that again they overachieved. Like I don't think it's kind of nuts to me actually when I look back at it and I see the way it's all integrated into the film. And really, I think working with them and Ashley made me go, oh, for Dolly 2, like we can go 400% crazier, like with the practical effects. And it just takes more time and resources to build things out and to make it right and to have contingencies and I mean creative backup plans for like how to achieve this. But yeah, I don't want to spoil any of them, but like I don't know, they're so seamless. It blows my mind, and you can feel it. I really think like there's a big difference between that practical quality and CGI. Now, CGI has its place, but there are VFX in this film, but they are seamless, right? There's a painterly quality even to the VFX, and the VFX team is incredible. And I think that like they did work on everything everywhere all at once, and really like we like kind of put these two teams together, and you can't tell where one ends and the next begins, and but they feel like they exist inside the world of this movie, and that to me is important, right? Like we're trying, as an artist, I'm trying to make things that are cohesive and feel unified. And I have to give credit to Ashley and Dan Martin, who made the mask, and our VFX team are just, I don't know, Tim and Adam, like they just I don't know, they're just, these people make me look better. So please, credit where credit is due.
That's amazing. That's really cool. Everything was just, yeah, like you said, so seamless. The practical effects were awesome. I guess like my last question would be, what can audiences look forward to in the next installments of Dolly?
Oh,
If you can share.
yes. Yes. So So I would encourage everybody who watches Dolly to watch it all the way to the very, very end so they don't miss anything. There's some other details that kind of pop up, maybe where you might not traditionally, well, I guess maybe you traditionally, in the genres, us horror fans know where to look. Um, uh, I will say, yeah, Dolly, Carl, the singer of the Baby Boys, is like talking about Dolly's family and like not every and everything that's going on in that house maybe isn't normal. And I think between that and there's a very final realization of the film, something that gets talked about that like um, I don't want to give away, but there's a very final moment in the film that speaks to something that somebody's looking for, and maybe now they've got some information with which to proceed, and they say some things out loud. They say some details and some names out loud, and let's. Those are the breadcrumbs we're going to pick up to make the next meal.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really appreciate it. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you, Melanie. I really appreciate it.
Well, have a great day.
Thank you. You too.